All right, guys, so today we are going to do database management. The learning objective is in this lesson, you're going to learn the basics of databases, what they are, how they're used in business, and the categories needed to create a database. We're going to do this by working in groups to identify items needed to create a database for a pre-selected company that I have. And then the learning target is at the end of the lesson, you will have mastered the knowledge of databases, how they're used in business, and the items needed to create a database. So, for the next 3 minutes, everybody has an index card. So what I'd like for you to do is get a pencil or an ink pen, and I'd like for you to go ahead and write what you know about databases. It is okay if you do not know what a database is. If you do not know, try to answer it to the best of your ability. Please do not just write, thank you. Please do not write, I do not know. Try to make an educated guess of what you feel a database is used for. So we're going to take 3 minutes and do this. All right, and start. Yes?
Do we put our name on this?
Yes, please.
Girl.
Guys, you have about 2 minutes left. Yes, please put your name on it. Oh, you wouldn't hear, was you? So, in 2 minutes, do you have an index card in front of your desk? Go ahead and write what you think you know about databases. Like, what are databases used for? Huh? No, it's not a test. Just write about what you think a database is. There is no right or wrong answer. And then we will discuss it. Guys, you got about 1 minute left. Carter?
Maybe.
You got 40 seconds. All right. So, Reagan, what did you put of what a database is? A structured set of data that's held in a computer. So what is data? Does anybody know what data is? Information. Information that is stored on a computer. So So Lexi, what did you write data was? It's what? You did not know in what? Who stored data? Madison, what did you put? Holds information to be used at a later time. Sarah, what did you put?
Stores data and used in business.
Stores data and used in business. Okay, so how many of you all shop at American Eagle? How many of you all shop at Hollister? How many shop at Aeropostale? Where do you all shop? How many shop at Kohl's? So we have quite a few shopping at Kohl's, right? So how many of you all have a Kroger card? How about a Thornton's? Speedy Rewards?
Speedy Rewards.
Does everybody know that these little cards that you have now, does everybody know what they do? They do more than just give you a free drink. They are creating a database on you and every customer. So like for instance with Kroger and the Kroger card, just so happens that every quarter you receive these bulk coupons from Kroger, and it just so happens it is every single thing that you buy. Well, how do you know that? How do they know? Because it is on your Kroger card, and you use your Kroger card, they swipe it, and they instantly can build a database based upon what you like, your buying trends, and then they will in turn, it's a marketing tool for them. The same thing with your Polar Pops that you all go get. Same thing at Wendy's with the little Frosties. And they have the little tag. The Walgreens, CVS. Kroger was the one who started this trend. However, a lot of companies are now using this. So they are all building a database for you. One of the things with Aeropostale, Hollister, Rue 21, and these type stores, who is their target selling customer? Teenagers. What about Kohl's? It's everybody. How about, does anybody know who Joseph A. Bank is? What is that? It's a what? For suits. It's geared towards professional men. Okay, so this is all part of their database. Every company that is in business likely has a database. How many of you all have cell phones? How many of you all have cell phone accounts and have actually called the AT&T place? What is the very first thing they will ask you? What is your phone number? And then they will likely say, for verification purposes only, what is what? What
Your
is your
social.
last four? What is your name?
Your social.
What is your address? What is your social? When they do that, what they are doing is they are diving into a database with your name, starting with your phone number. And as soon as that phone number pops up, every bit of your information comes. So every time that you call a company like that and they ask you that information, that is a database. Does that make sense? So the official definition for a database is nothing more than a collection of data that is stored on a computer. Before computers were created, how was databases created? How could you create a database back in the, as y'all would call it, the old days? They had to write it down. It was generally kept
In a ledger.
in a ledger, in files. Does anybody know what microfiche is? What it is a little bitty slide and you put it under a projector and you look through it and you can move it around. Has anybody ever dealt with one of those? Right. You've seen one? Okay. So that's all microfiche. This is how companies used to be able to keep their databases. However, there was a lot of pencils, a lot of erasing, a lot of markups. Now with the computer age, it's a lot easier to keep a database. So, 2 rules with a database. One is the more information that you put into a database, the more complex the database becomes. The second is if you are going to create a database, you must know what you are creating, which means if I am a company and I'm doing a database on my customers, I need to know what I need to know about them. I have to. If I can't identify what I need to know about them, then I cannot create a database. So, today, we are going to work in groups. We are going to have a total of 5 groups. I have 5 pre-selected companies that I have folded up. I know the companies, but I have no idea which group is getting what. So here's your task. You're going to divide into your groups, and you're going to take 5 minutes, and you are going to write down, just one of you has to write this down, but you're going to write as the company that's presented to you of what do you need to know about your customer before you can create that database. Okay? And you can write that on the index. After the 5 minutes is up, we'll all meet back in here, and then each group, one at a time, is going to put the list of what they need for their database, and then we are going to talk about each one. We're going to talk for each group. And there may be things that we may need to add. Okay? So, we are going to we're going to break this down. We're just going to go left to right, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So, who else in group 1? All right, so you all come on up. And I do not mind if you all go to the internet cafe to do this, or you can go out in the hallway to do it, or you can even sit on the floor to do it, or you can stay in here. So, who all's in group 1? All right, come on. Hunter, you were in group 1 too. All right, so go ahead and draw one. Don't want to get a piece of paper in hand. All right, so you all go meet, and so what is yours? Okay, so think about Facebook. What do you want to know about your customer? Okay? All right. Who's group number 2? All right, so y'all come on up. Anyone? Somebody needs a pen and some paper to write with y'all. All right, so what do you need to know about customers that buy from you on a used car lot? And y'all can meet wherever you want, wherever y'all want to meet. Y'all have 5 minutes. I'm going to come and get y'all in 5 minutes. Okay? Group 3. All right.
Jimmy.
No, it's one. Okay. Group 4. Y'all meet wherever y'all need to meet. Yep, just pick one. All right. So Andrew has y'all's. Make sure y'all have a piece of paper and ink and so y'all can write. And group 5. All right, so y'all are going to take 5 minutes to do this, okay? Erica, you're running behind me. What's that? Okay. So guys, y'all have 5 minutes, okay? Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Madison, y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they are.
What group were you?
By myself?
What group?
I'm 5.
I think that was Madison, Andrew. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. All right. Madison, are y'all group 5 or 4?
Yeah.
Group 5? It should be Jimmy, Andrew. Y'all are group 5, right? Yeah.
Okay, can you explain this? It's right page, neighbor, and like social
Okay,
media.
so social media. think of you all if you're Facebook, okay? What information would you want to know about your customers if you are Facebook? What information would you want to know? All right. Y'all have any questions?
We can put insurance and coverage.
Do y'all have any questions? Y'all good? Okay. Race is not important.
So,
Okay, so movie street. So think of you all if you are a business. So you're going to ask what
Yeah, location.
like your credit.
Yes.
Here,
No. What do you want to know about your customers?
credit,
No. No. Okay. Department stores. You think they might want to know the name of the customers? You think that they might want to know maybe their email? You think they would want to know that? Maybe send coupons? What else? How else can you send a coupon? Email or what else? How else can you send it? In the mail. So to send it in the mail, what would you have to have? There you go. Y'all see what I'm talking about now? Okay. Y'all good? So y'all only got a couple minutes left. As many as you can come up with. There's no set amount.
like history of like the car, like the vehicle history report. Like who previously owned the car.
Okay, so if you are a cell phone store, what information would you want to know about your customer? About your customers?
Teacher students, all of our seniors are back from their field trip. They should be heading to class now. So they will be in their 5th period class. Students, there's a head right there.
So what information would you want to know about your customer? Do you think it would be beneficial if you knew their name? Okay, so what else would you want to know about? I mean, if you're going to bill them, how would they pay their bill if they don't get it in the what? They don't get it in the mail, so that you need what? Okay? Y'all got it now? You know what's kind of expecting? Okay.
Do you want these back?
No, yes, I do want those back. No, y'all gonna write that. So they got y'all have about 10 seconds and then I'm gonna
Do we write
go
it now
for
or just?
it. No, I'll call on it. I'll call on it.
I mean, I can, but it's just not good. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold up. Hold on, sir.
Posted thunder.
right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and blind draw. So when I call your group, one person from your group needs to go up to the whiteboard here, and they are going to write, what they collectively as a group have decided that they need for the customer. Once they get done, we're gonna collectively as a group talk about if there's anything we think that's too personal or maybe too much, or maybe something that we think maybe we should add, okay? So, I'm gonna randomly draw these. So the first one, a cell phone store. Who had that? Reagan, your group? Alright. So Reagan, just go up to the board there and write what you have. So everybody pay attention because we're going to discuss this. Each one. Yes, y'all won't have questions.
She's letting you have to get your 30 minutes.
All right, guys, so group three. Group three says that they target teens and the older folks, which is true. And they need the person's name, address, phone number, and social security number. So, is there anything else that you think that a cell phone store would need?
Probably your phone number.
They do have phone number up there. So what else? So Lexi said that they need their email. Do you think that would be beneficial?
Yeah.
Yes. What else?
Credit?
Huh?
Credit? I need a credit score?
Possibly the credit score. Credit scores do change. There's a couple other things. What about their cell phone carrier? Like who, is it AT&T, is it Verizon, is it Sprint? How many of y'all have bought cell phones from Best Buy? Has anybody bought one from Best Buy? Best Buy has every carrier inside their store. So you can go to Best Buy and get an AT&T phone. You can go to Best Buy and get a Sprint phone, a Verizon phone. If you go to an AT&T store, guess what you're going to get? AT&T. But Best Buy sells them all. Walmart sells multiple different. What about the data plan? Do you think the data plan would be important?
Yeah. And like what kind of phone they want?
Like what kind of phone they want. Okay? So does anybody have anything else to add on group 3, which was the cell phone store? The credit card number? Yes, you could put the credit card number if they have direct billing.
It has no.
Does anybody else have anything? Okay. Next one. A clothing department store. Is you, Jimmy? Yeah. All right.
You have to reach it.
You could reach that. That's on the
All right, guys, so group 5, which is the clothing department store. They said they target young people and teens. They said name, email, address, zip code, and phone number. Is there anything else that you think needs to be on there? Maybe their size. Okay, what else? In a clothing store, why is age so important? Because of styles. So Kelsey, please say what you just said. Kelsey said because she does not want grandma clothes. Okay, however, grandmas may not want young, hip clothes. Okay? So, if you have a database and the majority of your customers, if the majority of your customers are 40-year-old females, what type of clothes are you going to be putting in? More modest clothing. Okay? Would it matter if females are pregnant?
Yes, maternity.
Absolutely. Maternity clothes. There are maternity stores out there like Motherhood. Most areas or most stores have very small sections of maternity clothing. So look, all these little things do make a difference. Is there anything else that anybody feels like can be added up there? Awards cards. Some of them, Kelsey brought up about award or reward cards, like Kohl's Cash. Okay?
Because they make you go back and buy more.
That's the whole idea of it.
So it makes me so mad because I'm.
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
God wants it.
Calm down, Ray, gosh.
All right, does anybody else have anything on clothing department stores? All right, used car lot. All right, guys, pay attention. All right, so group 2 had the used car lot. And they put name, social security number, address, phone number, the type of car, which would be the model, year, and make, the previous car's owned, insurance or coverage, the price range, or credit score, the vehicle history, any damage, and warranty options. Is there anything else that you think could be added? Yes, Ms. Loyal. Their income. It could. What else? Anybody else?
Their salary cap,
That's the price range.
what?
If they're
Anything
gonna,
else?
if they're gonna do loans or not.
If they are gonna finance it, that could be important. What else? Huh?
Recalls?
If there's any recalls. What about whether or not they're family? Does it matter if they're single or married?
Yes.
Does it matter if they have kids? Does it matter if they're in the market for a sports car versus a four-door sedan or a pickup truck?
I put type of car,
It's like, oh yeah, it's like a car. Okay, I wouldn't understand what you said.
like the make, the model, the year.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so does anybody else have any other thing they can add on the used car lot? Okay. Social media website. All right. So group one, they had the social media website. And they put age, name, birthday, friends, race, gender, location, work, relationship, phone number, likes and dislikes, and email. Is there anything else that you think could be put on there for a social media?
I think that they've got it.
I'm sorry?
I think that they've got it.
You think they got it? All right. So what about, when you say likes and dislikes, what exactly does that mean?
Like what you're into.
Like what are your hobbies?
Yeah, like Facebook actually, which are
Okay.
movies.
Okay. All right. So that's a pretty complete list on the social media. All right. Is there anything else that anybody can think of that we could add? All right. So the last one is movie streaming. Hers is movie streaming, like Netflix. So group 4 went very simple. All right? So they said name, their email, and a credit card number. What else do you think they might need? The type of movies that you like.
Yeah, they have like, recommended for you or whatever.
Okay, or maybe even like genres.
Yeah, category.
Okay, what else?
For your,
I'm sorry?
birthday.
Your date of birth. Why is your age important?
Because some things won't let you in and you can pay for it.
Okay, it was brought up that your age does play an important factor factor when you're talking about a movie streaming such as a Netflix or a Hulu or a Crackle. If you're under the age of what is rated R? 17. If you're under the age of 17, PG-13. Is there any particular person in here that their mom and or dad does not allow them to watch rated R movies, or they keep a limit on what they can watch? So Alexa, sorry. No, there's some parents are very strict about that, okay? Growing up, my son, even to this day, he's 13, but there's a lot of games that I will not allow him to play on PlayStation 4. Okay? So that is the reason why the age is important for Netflix. Okay? We talked about name, talked about email. So how are we going to send the bill? Through email, and what's the other way? Well, they can, but can they send you a bill? Okay, so what else do you think we need up there? The address, okay? All right, so who has Netflix? Is there anybody here that actually watches it on their cell phone? Okay, so if you're watching it on your cell phone, what else do you got to have? You got to have a Wi-Fi. So do you think maybe their cell phone number or their data or something like that would be important, correct? Okay. So does anybody have anything else they could add on Group 4, which is the movie streaming? The different accounts, like Netflix. You can have a kids channel. You can have the husband's channel, the wife's channel, the kids, individual kids channels, okay? So you can have different likings or dislikes on it, okay? So does anybody have any questions on this group or groups that we did? Okay, so what is one of the things up on here that almost every list has? Your name. Almost every list also has what, Kelsey? Your email. It's going to have your age. It's going to have all of your personal information. But once you get past that personal information, that's when it starts branching out to the organization. Okay? So an auto car lot does not necessarily care about some of the things that a cell phone store would. Okay? A used car lot does not care about the data plan that a person has on his or her phone. Does this make sense? But the bulk information, the name, the birthday, the mailing address, that's all information that you typically see on databases. But when you get into those individual organizations, that's when everything starts separating. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So we have about 7 minutes left in class. So on the back side of your index card, I would like for you to answer this question. Is what do you now know about databases that you did not previously know before coming into class today? So basically tell me what you have learned today. Okay? So just take the next 5 or so minutes to answer that. And then when you get them done, as you were leaving today, up here beside the printer, just place those index cards on the table, and tomorrow we will pick up where we left off and we'll dive into a little bit more in depth about the database, and we'll start digging into Microsoft Access. Because before you can know Microsoft Access, you need to understand what a database does and what it is. And I think most of you or everyone should know that now, if you did not already know. So again, when you leave today, just please place them over here as you're leaving, and that's it. Yeah. What do you now know about databases that you did not previously know?